Sulia.
Hi guys, welcome back to Sulia. It's your boy Zoo, and I'm here with
playing the Makalele role as usual.
Selwyn, yes, and
Joseph, aka Joe.
Did are you?
He said it.
So yes, the season 24-25 season has come, or is almost over.
Almost.
Yes, we're going to do a slightly premature review. We'll do a review of the last two European finals
As well.
next time. We'll do a preview of them today and a review next time. So let's get straight into it. It's going to be a slightly longer episode than usual, but
Zoe has jacked my swag, but it's cool.
I think I'm doing it better
So
though.
name.
Who was best? Comments in the.
Who were best?
So name.
But yeah, so like I said, the season has ended and Liverpool were crowned champions. We knew already.
Thank you. Also, Salah won Player of the season, and Salah also won
Playmaker
top
of
scorer.
the season,
And
top
Salah
scorer.
also won. Yes,
He won
I
a
just
lot
had
of
to see
awards.
that.
Yeah, I mean, he was the best player from the season, so it's not a surprise.
I think Slot was also manager of the season. I think.
I wouldn't be
I think.
surprised.
Yeah.
He deserves
Correct
it.
me if I'm wrong.
But yeah, congrats to Liverpool once again. We were at the
Good
Liverpool
Park.
fan event at
Yeah,
Good Park
Yep,
in
yep.
Accra.
If you haven't seen the videos, check that out. Shout out to
Yeah.
Larry G
Yeah,
for
yeah,
that production. It was sick.
Check out our
He
social
was
media.
the organizer.
The country organizer.
That was a sick event.
yeah. Jurgen Klopp was at Anfield.
Yep. Even Rafa Benitez was around.
Yeah, they called all the OGs. Trent was in tears.
Finally, I feel like the event, the magnitude of what he had done finally he finally did that. Oh, Charlie.
Yeah.
I'm actually leaving these guys.
Yeah.
I think the whole time he was thinking about Madrid. Like on the last day, he finally realized
So,
that,
wow,
hey,
this is my
Charlie,
last time. Yeah.
I'm actually leaving.
But
actually
yeah,
cried.
congrats to him. He's moving on
Congrats.
to new things. So let's see how that goes. Anyway, so yeah, let's get into the rest of the league. We can go through the table real
Well, I
quick.
also just want to say Arsenal also won, what do you call it? Best keeper, or the Golden Glove.
Golden Glove.
And
He's sharing it with Cells, right?
sharing with Sales. Yeah. Shout out to Sales.
Which is the Golden Glove is what the player with the most clean sheets.
The keeper of the most.
And as I say, Joel is not here today, but as I often remind him, if you have the most clean sheets, it doesn't mean you are the best keeper.
But Sales can have a shot for that. He was one of the
I
best.
think
keepers.
Sales was.
So do you
probably
think
one
there
of the
should be
best,
two
yeah.
different awards?
I think so, yeah, because the most clean sheets doesn't mean you are the best keeper.
It's a good metric, but it's not the thing.
Because most goals doesn't mean you're the best striker. That's what I think.
Really,
Yes.
that one there, I don't agree.
So let me give you an example, right? I think
The whole
It's
defense,
defense,
that one
yeah.
there. But
So-
goal scoring is personal. Like
no,
it's me.
it's not personal like that because it depends on who you're playing with as well.
What do you
The
mean?
players behind you, the players feeding you the ball. It
But
also
some
depends on the
strikers
number
will
of
be
games
there.
you play.
But that one is your fitness. If you're a good player, you play all the matches.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Go on.
Haaland
Mustache.
is the best striker in the Premier League.
Okay.
He didn't win Golden Boots.
Because he wasn't the best striker this season.
Who was the best striker this season?
Unfortunately,
Isak.
nobody. Isak was. Oh, cool. But
Isak
yeah,
didn't win the
okay,
Golden Boots. You get what I'm saying?
now.
So there's so many things at play.
But that's why there was some arguments for some people.
Who was behind Salah?
Haaland.
Haaland.
Yeah,
Haaland?
I think it
think
was
so, yeah.
Haaland. Yeah, I think it was.
I think so.
Even he scored his goals early before he got in.
It was Isak. So
Oh, okay,
Salah ended
Isak.
on 29, Isak 23, Haaland 22.
Okay. What I wanted to say is that there were some arguments earlier on in the season that Salah is not a winger, he's a striker. I don't know if you remember.
Salah
It's
is
a
a
forward.
winger.
It's a forward.
He's definitely
Forward,
he's
yeah.
the best forward.
Call him a
Yeah, we
forward.
can say that he's the best forward for sure. Best forward for sure. Because that includes the wide positions. So best forward for sure.
So the top goal scorer is for the whatever. The
But you see what
best
I'm
goal
saying?
scorer.
You
That's
see-
what we have to make
you
it.
see
Not
what
the
I'm
best
saying?
striker.
You see what
Because
I'm
also
saying?
nowadays there's no striker.
Yeah,
A lot of teams
so the
don't have
Golden Boots
strikers.
is not the best striker, it's just
It's
the
the
player with
best
the most
scorer.
goals. That's all.
The best scorer.
Anyway,
I did fuck up. Don't mind. Yeah.
so
Go
let me
on.
quickly run through the table. So Liverpool were first, Arsenal second. Liverpool won by 10 points though. That's crazy. City third, Chelsea
By 10
fourth,
points. Wow.
Newcastle fifth, Villa sixth, Nottingham Forest seventh, Brighton eighth, Bournemouth ninth, Brentford 10th, Fulham 11th, Palace 12th,
Palace. Palace record
Everton
is
13th, West Ham 14th, United 15th, Wolves
Oh,
16th,
that's really good.
Wolves 16th, Spurs 17th, Leicester 18th, Ipswich 19th, Southampton 20th. So
Southampton 20th.
yeah, so let's
With just how many points? 12.
12 points. Yeah.
Just one better.
One better
You,
than
do
the
you see how
West.
happy they were when they won that
Yeah,
extra
because
point against
nobody
Man
wants to
City?
be the West. Yeah.
In
But
history,
yeah, so
So who's the West?
Derby
Derby
counts.
counts.
You got 11.
Yeah, I remember that. Oh, Derby was shit.
what was that? 2008.
Southampton
2008.
almost got a seed.
Almost got that. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
Derby was
crazy.
shit.
So yeah, let's talk about the race for the top 5, because as you know, this season the top 5 teams qualified for the Champions League. So the final
And,
top 5 was
but you also have to say that but 6 teams are going because Tottenham Hotspur.
Hotspur one day. Yeah, so I'll come to that. So the top 5 on the table was Liverpool, Arsenal, City, Chelsea, Newcastle.
Yeah,
But
that's
there are, like
funny.
you said, there are 6 teams going, and the team that is 17th
17
is also going to the
Yeah,
Champions
with the
League
worst record in their history.
in their history.
With
Yes.
38 points, not enough to call to
22
they were supposed
losses.
to be relegated in a normal season,
Yeah,
but
22
they are
losses.
going to the Champions League. And Man wanted to do that too.
I think it was the most
God knows
losses
the shame, man.
by a team that
Yeah, at least
has
Has
we
not
stayed
been
up.
relegated.
we made
Wow.
more than 40 points. Yes.
Small wins.
15. That's crazy.
So talking about the final day charge for the top 5,
Mm.
it was between what? City, Chelsea, Newcastle, Villa, and Nottingham Forest.
Yeah. It's so crazy how it went down because even though Newcastle lost,
They still
they
managed.
still went through.
Yeah.
And the Villa win.
Villa needed to draw
Villa lost
to
Needed
qualify.
to draw, but they were cheated.
How?
They said some penalty must have been.
Oh.
Some VAR
But in
issue.
there,
The one that the
Yeah.
guy kicked the ball and then they blew the whistle before
Yeah.
he
I
was
saw that,
allowed
I saw
to
that,
score.
I saw that.
What do you think about that?
I saw that, but
Because he didn't hold the ball.
he
hadn't-
held it before he released it small. So by the
And
time he
that-
released it,
the
is when
guy
the guy
then
kicked
got
it.
it.
So
There's no foul here.
what do
Yeah.
the rules say though?
So it's a
The
storm.
rule-
Like
so
Villa
what the
people
rule
are
is that
upset.
because the VAR, like because they didn't allow him to score, the VAR couldn't do.
Cannot
Like they blew
intervene.
the whistle before
Yeah.
he scored.
But that whole thing that he saved it first,
But he did-
released it.
Yes.
And that's the same rule. So that whole
So
rule.
they
So is it
released
that
it.
when you save it,
Yes.
If
If
you
you
have-
have the ball,
Once
it's in
you
your
lose
possession,
control of the ball,
It's gone again.
it's
it's
open
gone.
play.
Yeah.
So that was a cheat.
Yeah.
We went to complain, but hey, we all know
it
how that
happened.
goes.
Arsenal versus Liverpool at Emirates earlier in the season. I think like 90th minutes, Havertz was about to go and score. The referee blew the whistle, and they were like, if this had gone to VAR, it would have been a goal. So it happens from
This
time to
VAR
time.
matter, and that's how Taiwo Aini,
Awani,
he got in there. I saw he came out. He's good now.
Yeah.
Like it was offside, but they kept playing, and now he almost
that
died.
whole thing that is offside and then the
Just it's
your
because of the
player, some
VAR.
go play,
thing,
before they call.
Sometimes
VAR.
I think when it's obvious, or sometimes it's so obvious that it's offside. If it's obvious, just blow the
But
whistle.
yeah,
But
exactly.
sometimes the reason they don't blow is because sometimes
And then they
You
are
think
giving
it's
them
offside.
for something to
Yeah.
happen.
But
sometimes
people
you think
can
it's
die,
offside,
as you
but,
can see. Like serious injuries can occur.
well,
Just stop the game.
if he was onside and it happened, nobody would be saying that too. So I mean,
Hey, if
it's
he died.
football. no. I mean, they would have
Rip
said
Cage
it's
said-
a casualty of the game.
No, but we've been seeing a lot of these things. Like, look at this. Like, it's touch and
So
go.
I mean, yeah. Please, I know you guys watch the FA, England FA. I know you watch this
BGML.
podcast.
They will be on TV
So please-
tonight. Actually,
what's that man's
Coming to
name?
explain,
Demos Gallagher.
somebody for knock that guy.
Every Monday he comes to do some nonsense. Go on then. What's
So yeah, Chelsea. So City, Chelsea, Newcastle, where they joined Liverpool and Arsenal in the Champions League. So, what do we,
Chelsea
I know
were
the
very
Chelsea
happy.
fans are itching to hear something about them. So let's talk about
the
them.
Chelsea fans are saying that now that they've qualified for Champions League, they don't really mind. Some, let me not say everybody. Some
Yeah.
Chelsea fans say they don't really mind the Conference
No
League
winning.
anymore.
Hey.
Which is
They
it's
mind,
weird
they
to
mind,
me.
they mind.
They won a
Because they haven't won a trophy in a
In a
few
long
years.
time, and they've lost a lot of
definitely won
finals.
Yes, a lot,
They've lost
especially
a lot-
to Liverpool.
Especially
I
to
have say,
Liverpool.
yes.
So they can't. They are lying.
They are
That's all I
lying.
can tell you. They are lying. If they
Because
win,
Champions
if
League
they
is
win, they'll
good,
be
but
smiling.
let's be
So
real,
mind
it's
them.
not a trophy. Like I heard even Guardiola saying it this season.
You
When
know,
they asked
thank you
him
for
that he
bringing
didn't
that
win
up.
a trophy, he said in England, being forced is like a trophy. Can you
Let me
imagine?
bring, no, but let me actually. I remember Wenger used to say that, and I used to get so
Yes.
pissed. I'll
I'll
be like, Charlie, bro, what are you talking about?
Yes.
But I feel like honestly now I get what they're trying to say.
Charlie.
No, bro, it can change. Like look how United, like
So
that
do you-
United.
so do you think the
Europa
teams-
League?
their
It's not
real
Europa
No,
priority
League.
it's
will be
just
the
in,
Champions
I don't know,
You
hindsight.
think the real priority of every club is to be in the Champions League?
Yes,
Of
because
course,
you can
that
transform
one,
you transform your club because the revenue is all about revenue.
Because
And
of the
then-
PSR.
and then now PSR and everything. So it's a huge deal to qualify for the Champions
But
League.
it's not a trophy.
Digress,
It's not-
though, but
he
digress,
start- they didn't
but
say
what
it's
do you
a
guys
trophy,
think?
but they said it's
Champions
like
League
a
or
trophy.
World Cup?
Of course, World Cup.
Champions League or World Cup?
Oh, World Cup.
The Champions
Because
League
World Cup
good
is
for
every 4 years.
yeah.
I mean,
And it's your country.
It's
Your,
your
team is
country
not the
too.
best. You can't
Yeah.
just buy something.
Some people think Champions League.
they're not
Those
serious.
people are
They're
not
not serious. They're not serious.
Are you one of those people?
Maybe
Sorry.
Champions League.
Sorry,
No,
are you
I'm
one
not
of-
saying no. I'm indifferent, but I feel like Champions League used to be heavier than in the early 2000s.
I don't think so.
I feel like it's just because the World Cup doesn't come
Champions League
all the
has filtered
time.
for me now, though. Champions
Oh,
League is
definitely.
not-
That's why they've changed the
not-
format to try and make it more exciting.
But I don't think it was ever comparable to the
Yeah,
World
because
Cup.
I feel like people feel like that's because World Cup's not every year. So you
Yeah.
forget about, until the year comes, then you
Yeah.
realize that, oh shit, like this is.
Like the World Cup, you qualify for 3 years
Yes,
and
before.
finally go and play 1 month every 4 years. It's a big
It's
deal.
a very, very
Yeah.
Right.
But coming back to what Pep and them were saying,
Mm.
it's not a trophy. They didn't say it is a trophy. They said it,
It feels like a
trophy.
It's
Which
like
is why
when-
we saw the Chelsea players celebrating
Celebrating.
because it's a big deal.
especially Maresca.
Yes, Maresca as well.
He's not the only one.
And the Europa League final was such a big deal because they are trying to get into the Champions League. Like, even though yes, it's a trophy, but like the
I
main.
think for Spurs, they.
Oh yeah, for Spurs, yeah.
They
But
know it's
I think
more
for
of a
United,
trophy.
it was like we need this Champions League because of the situation they are in. See how I'm pointing at you. The financial situation they are in, and what might happen. What might
The ramifications.
English.
The ramifications.
Yeah,
I give you better English.
So yeah, that's why they
Yeah.
feel like the clubs and the managers, and now we can see the players as well feel like it feels like a trophy, but obviously it's not a trophy.
It's like
So,
when they say it's cold, but it feels like. Have you ever had that?
yes, I know what you mean. Yes. So yes, I mentioned the Europa League. Let's quickly touch on that. Spurs beats Manchester United.
You see the goal. Such a space.
One of the worst finals the world has ever seen.
We had a live on that, bro. People were sleeping there. It's noisy. Man.
One of the worst finals anyone has ever
I
seen.
saw somebody left the scene. I'll send you that video.
Yeah.
He walked out of the stream.
I swear, that's
This guy, why?
Wow.
OJ was devastated. The whole thing. I was watching me like your mom was even talking to you. I was not minding. It.
Oh. They came close, but I miss.
Oh, where are you going? Oh, Joe.
It's not good as a mile.
Joe, not Joe. Oh, Charlie.
So
He was
yeah,
not minding him.
I'm finished. Go
but
on.
unfortunately, or fortunately, depends on what side you're on. Manchester United lost to Spurs.
That's
Spurs
crazy.
won their first trophy in 17 years.
And Son won a trophy. His
Son
first
won a
trophy
trophy,
in
yeah.
his career.
Yeah.
The
So
same
congrats
season
to
with
them.
Hurricane. So somebody said that Hurricane went to, break his virginity with a,
A different
was
girl.
son got married and did it the hard way.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
crazy, yeah.
So we'll see what happens with Spurs next season. They'll be in the Champions League.
They'll be in the
and
Champions
All the best
League.
to them.
Yep.
Speaking of the Champions League, Arsenal's women's team won the Champions League.
I like the way you qualified it. Arsenal's women's team.
Of course,
Yes, thank you.
because it's not me.
I just like that you did that. Thank you.
But yeah, they beat Barcelona on. This happened on Saturday, 24th. They beat Barcelona 1-0. I think it's huge because
I see the women's game is really catching a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah.
Now they can get paid
Yeah.
because they are getting their money. It makes sense now.
I'm dead. Yeah, it was played in Portugal.
It makes sense.
I Personally, I've been following-
They didn't deserve to be paid.
But if nobody is watching, now if they are
no,
watching,
but
they
they pull in. I remember
Yeah.
last season.
now
Barcelona,
even regular season games even
yeah,
get a lot. Of,
Arsenal have been filling out the Emirates.
Yeah.
Barcelona, have
And I
filled
like
out
how they are
the Camp-
getting their
I
own
think even
teams.
now the record for Camp Nou attendance was done
the
by the
women.
women.
And I like how they are getting their own stadiums now. Like how
Yeah.
Everton left the Goodison for their women.
Yeah.
You were telling me Arsenal women play at Meadow Park,
yeah,
Bournemouth.
Meadow Park, yeah.
Chelsea also, their women have their own
Yeah.
stadium. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good, yeah.
So yeah,
More
they
support.
beat Barcelona 1-0. Very tight game. I was
Tactical.
able to catch it. It was actually very tactical. Yeah, I was able to catch a little bit.
So does it
of
make
that
you feel
game.
we won a trophy this season?
Personally,
At
yes,
least the
because
establishment.
I've been following the team for more than 6 years, the women's team, and
So it's still Arsenal, right?
it's still Arsenal.
At the end
too,
of the
so
league.
they've been trying. Like they're the only British team to win their Champions League.
Oh wow.
They won it in
The
2007.
only wow. Okay.
And they've won it again. Chelsea lost to Barcelona.
Even with what's her name, the America coach, who used to be Chelsea coach.
Emma Hayes.
Emma Hayes,
Yeah,
yeah.
she lost to Barcelona in the final a couple times.
Yeah, that woman was at Arsenal before Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, she was at Arsenal in 2007 when they won.
When
she
they
wasn't
won.
a coach, but she was like assistant. She was on the team
Oh, okay.
before she moved to Chelsea. Man, even
Wow.
though Chelsea had the best team in England, they've won
It's
5
still-
league titles in a row.
but
Now,
they've never won
They've
Champions.
never won the Champions League. Barcelona beat them 8-1, 8-2 on aggregate in
Was
the,
it that
in the
girl? What's her
semi-final.
name? There's some chick. She won Ballon d'Or.
Aitana Bonmati.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, basically, just congrats to Arsenal women. First, again, only British team. We've
United
done it for a
winners.
second
Our
time.
team was founded in like what?
1888.
No. 2008.
Yeah, lots of the women's teams are recently
2008,
founded.
we are a
Yeah.
young team, so we're patient. We'll be there.
But yeah, United have improved. They are top 4 team. So we'll see what happens in the women's game.
Just-
The Women's Super League. They play Super League, right? The
Yeah,
Women's.
Super League, Women's Super League. So we'll see what happens next season with that. Moving on, Serie A.
Yes.
Yes,
And
Jolo, take it away.
the biggest news coming out of Italy.
Yes.
Scott McTominay won Italian Player of the Season, not
Serie A player of the season.
top scorer as we were saying earlier, or playmaker.
Best
Best player in the league
Yes.
was
Overall,
United. You remember we were here shouting, "How much is McTominay worth?" We never-
Yes.
Can you imagine?
He's proved
How
his
much did you
worth.
buy him now?
He's definitely
Thank
worth the
God.
money now. He's definitely. You see, the thing is,
But he played so well. I have to say.
I think now it's just cements that United buy. I would say they
Cemented.
buy good players, but
But the culture of the
place
team,
it doesn't work for some
culture of the
reason.
team.
It just
I
doesn't.
can't even
work
say it's toxic. It's beyond like
Yeah.
I don't know what
Beyond
it is.
No, it's not a problem. It's to solve. We cannot solve it.
Why it's
are paid-
crazy?
people are
So
being
guys,
paid
what
to
do you
solve
think
it.
about-
And they can't even solve it.
What do you think about what
The guy is
Mourinho
losing
said some
billions.
years ago?
Trying
People are
to, what do
being
you say?
What do you think about what Mourinho said some years ago? If they play,
Football heritage.
when
Where
they
they
when
play.
they leave,
When
if they
they-
play, where they
oh.
play, because now it
You
seems
think
it's
now-
falling flat.
Because obviously
No,
we've
even
seen is
that,
that.
that,
Go
that
on.
one I think was certain players that he was talking about though, at that time. Was
But because Mourinho,
But those
McTominay is one of
players
his
have-
players, though.
Yeah, those
Yes.
players
He
have
brought
kind
him
of
into the limelight.
yes.
those because now it's like players who leave.
I think he was talking
United
about
are-
his guys.
It was those Lingard and the rest.
Those
the people he
guys,
had
yeah.
problems with at the club.
But yeah, shout out to McTominay and also obviously Antonio Conte, who has now won
Solid coach.
What?
Solid coach.
what do they call it? Italian league with 3 Scudetto. Thank you very much.
Scudetto.
3 different teams: Juve,
Yeah.
Inter,
Inter,
and now
Napoli.
Napoli. So
Yeah.
he's also a legend. He also won with Chelsea in his
Chelsea,
first
yeah.
season, if I
Yeah.
remember. So shout out to Conte.
league specialist.
I have to go and see his brother.
Nah, he's a solid guy.
Yeah, and Lukaku as well. Who,
Lukaku also played.
you know-
Charlie, and other notable mentions: Philip Billing,
Billing.
Billy Gilmore. They
Gilmore.
were balling out this season, like
Yeah.
not like some average.
Conte's
He's
leaving.
leaving. And I'm
Where's he
hearing
going?
Conte is leaving.
The rumors are saying he's leaving. Yes, let's call
Wow.
it rumors.
But what I want to say is that you see, Napoli sold Osimhen and Kvaratskhelia, if I said that
we
properly,
don't need you, bro.
and they still. And so what they said is Conte got.
Hey.
Guys. Conte got like role players. Then talk to us. Conte got like players who are good at what they do, not like superstars. So he got was role specific player like McTominay. That's why he could shine. I also say McTominay also internationally for Scotland.
He also does a good
Surprisingly, when he leaves, when he was at Man U, when he goes international, he's their top scorer. McTominay.
Oh, yeah.
But to be fair, a
Yeah,
couple
the national
seasons
team.
ago, he was United's top scorer.
We were making
Yes,
last
yes,
season.
yes.
We were telling this our manager to let him play the strike because anytime he brings in,
He
does
scores,
score.
it's true,
But
it's
he was
true.
always benching. At some point, Højlund wasn't delivering. We wanted McTominay to be our number 9, but he never
The
did
same
that.
way they wanted
Well-
Harry Maguire to be a winger this season.
So you lost him for about 30 million.
Bro, but
Sad.
Antonio Conte set for sensational EV return. It's an attractive
Oh, he's going back
offer.
to Juve.
It's an attractive offer. He will go. Therefore, he and Juve.
So Juve are
Also
they are leaving Mota.
I was shocked though.
They've qualified for the Champions League though.
Yeah, but maybe
It's
they're
not a
not
trophy.
satisfied
That's
with
what I
it.
say.
Yeah.
Shout out to Moise Kean too. He's balling out in Fiorentina.
Yes,
yes.
This season he had a
Oh,
stellar,
that guy.
stellar
You
show
see somebody like that. You see, he couldn't deliver in England.
in Everton.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that guy's
That
agent
was-
is very
this
good.
guy,
though.
this guy brought him on. It was against United. That coach, is it
Ancelotti.
Duncan Ferguson or something?
Really?
He brought him on. He took him out in like
Yes,
5
yes,
minutes.
yes.
Yeah.
And there was someone when he went back to Juve too. This guy is stubborn. They just stopped him. He was going to slide
Yes,
somebody,
yes, yes.
and they gave him a red card.
Moise
I
Kean
don't
is
know.
a
He has
character,
some
though.
Balotelli gene in his blood, bro. It's crazy. But he's so good.
Yes,
like
a good
when
shot,
he's
though.
on it,
Yes, yes.
and his agent is stellar because the team she has PSG and things.
PSG, Juve, yeah.
He's a player.
So yeah,
bro.
Speaking still in Serie A, we have to talk about Inter. They took Napoli down to the wire to the final
Yeah,
day.
yeah. That was a good.
Yeah.
I like how they played the match on Friday before the rest
Before
of
the
the
rest
matches
of the matches,
to
yeah,
decide what was going
playing
on.
at the same time.
Yeah.
So unfortunately for Inter, they couldn't win. They won last year. They couldn't go back to back. So,
Back to back.
however, they still have a chance to win a trophy this weekend. We'll come to that.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll come to that. Before we come
Ah,
to
yes,
that,
yes,
Champion
yes.
now.
let's go to Spain, La Liga.
Whoa.
Obviously, we
Today, the 20 what? Is this it?
know 26th, yeah,
26th of
May.
May, Xabi Alonso has been announced as the new coach of the Galacticos Real Madrid, who just have just signed Trent.
Have you seen his picture?
The one,
But with the Trenton, apparently Alonso was very much behind it.
yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not
for
surprised.
sure, for
Like
sure.
3 months ago.
I'm not.
As
we're not surprised.
Alonso, as a player who was a specialist in those long passes, I'm not
And
surprised.
another conspiracy. You remember we also wanted Xabi Alonso before
Yes.
and his slot. And we said, is he coming? Is he coming? He said, no, he's staying at Bayern. He too, they had spoken to him that
Yeah.
Ancelotti is going.
It's
so
like we keep saying, bro. When Real Madrid calls,
it's not about just calling. They have.
the way they
it's
move
very-
to,
it's like Drake, you know. Like Drake, they are so strategic. It's not
Yeah.
like they just call. Like they do a lot of moves in the shadows.
yeah, for
So
sure.
you think you are choosing them, but they bring
Yeah.
you
And
crowd.
they brought back his picture. You know that there's this trademark.
The one he was
Yeah.
with.
Yeah,
And apparently they've done a new one and he says that it meant that C. He didn't mean that he's going away, but it means that C is soon. So
Really?
yeah, he's done another one that he's standing at the training grounds. Yeah, it looks
I
good.
saw that
Really?
one. I saw that one. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
I need
man.
to do the honest for us. Go
So
on.
yeah, like we said, Alonso is back
Yeah.
in
We've got Trent.
At
They
Madrid.
also Mbappe had a decent
We
season.
also have Hoyson now. So
Hoyson,
next
yeah.
season looking interesting for Real
Real
Madrid.
Madrid.
Yeah, looking.
Mbappe won the Golden Boot and the European Golden Shoe. So
Oh,
top
yeah.
scorer in Europe. This is the first time he's won it
Oh, wow.
in his
Pichichi.
career.
Is that what it's called?
Chichichi, yeah. Spanish, what do you call it? Top scorer.
And European top scorer. So I see that
European
one. They
top
use
scorer
some
as well.
coefficient thing to also.
Yeah, he's a coefficient. So I mean, it's based on your coefficients in the. You know, they have a league table for countries and their
Okay.
leagues. So the top 5 leagues have a coefficient of 2,
Oh, wow.
and then below that, some of them have 1.5, and it goes down. So even
that's why
though
I said
Victor
that-
Gyökeres scored 38
More
goals or 39 goals in 38 games, but his league has a coefficient of 1.5.
So who decides those things? How you do? How well
It's
the
how well
teams do?
your league does. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's what. That's what.
How
it's
well
based
the
on.
teams in the league do?
In the
or
league
how?
do.
Okay.
In Europe
And
when they
other
compete in
countries.
Europe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Abelo is going to be part of his team.
So the top scorers in La Liga were Mbappe on 31, Lewandowski on 27, and Budimir on 21. So I just want to talk about Lewandowski. This man is 37 in August. Before or by the time the
So
season
he has
starts,
scored 100 goals for Barcelona.
he scored his 100th
That's crazy.
goal for Barca. And I just feel
That's
like
zero numbers.
he's only 4 goals behind Mbappe.
Who?
Lewandowski. Only 4 goals behind Lewandowski, but he had an injury. He had some injuries.
Yes, for a very
Yeah,
long time.
Yeah. So it's like this man may have
Scored way
scored
more goals.
than
Lewandowski.
Lewandowski, than Mbappe, even at this age. So shout out to that
Lewandowski.
guy. I mean, one of the greatest scorers we've ever seen. So he keeps doing it even at this old age. And of course, Lamine Yamal, most assists in
Me
the
Yamal,
league.
the best player in the world right now.
Yeah,
Me Yamal for Ballon d'Or.
I would agree with that. But so now they have their candidates for they haven't announced their awards. So the candidates for best player are Vinicius, Bellingham, Mbappe, Sunset, Isco,
Sunset. Who's Sunset?
Oyan Sunset,
SNA.
What team?
Bilbao.
Oh, okay.
Isco.
I saw they gave our
Yeah, let
own
me
brother.
finish.
Oh, sorry.
Isco. I know where you're coming to say. I'll
Yeah.
let you finish. Isco, Rafinha, Lamine,
Those ones
Lewandowski,
for
and Pedri. So those are the candidates for best player of.
Of course,
La
man, I'll
Liga.
give it to Lamine, obviously.
We'll see. I feel like they'll give it to Rafinha, but let's see. What were you gonna say?
I was going to say they
Iñaki.
gave our own brother, Kofi. Is it Kofi? Iñaki Williams.
Iñaki Williams. Yeah.
Captain of Bilbao. That's crazy.
Oh, they gave him captaincy.
Yeah, I saw that today. It's crazy because, you've watched the story. His
Yeah.
parents trekked in the Sahara and all
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
He found
Is
and to
that-
become the captain.
His dad still has pains under his
his
feet
leg.
from
Yeah.
the.
Crazy story.
And also, Iñaki was announced as best African player in La Liga.
Oh,
He
really?
won the award too.
Shout
so
out to him, yo.
Shout out to him. 30 years old, still doing it. It's about to be 31, but yeah.
I know age is not part of it. I heard Salah saying it in an interview that if you take care of your body, you play until you want to.
Yeah,
Because you
yeah.
see at the high level, a lot of people are
Yeah,
still balling
yeah.
at
Facts.
any age right now.
Facts. So yes, that's La Liga. again, congrats to Barca for winning that. And next season is looking promising. So let's see what happens. And now let's come to the Champions League. Inter versus PSG. Or is it PSG versus Inter? PSG versus Inter. That's how they've written it. I think that's how they've written it. So PSG versus Inter Milan. Saturday, 31st of
PSG
May.
versus Inter.
Yeah.
There'll be a live stream for that.
We'll see. I don't know. Are we going to Good Park? Hey, Good Park residents. Sorry, Larry has gone outside, so we'll address this. You know, if you're doing a live stream or if we'll be at Good Park, you know from our socials. So yeah, that's the Champions League final. What do you guys think is going to happen? Who do you think is going to
It's
take
going to
it?
be an entertaining game for sure. As to who's going to win, I can't tell you that. But it's going to be open,
Who are you supporting?
exciting, nobody. But I have the PSG jersey, so I'll be wearing that on the day. The jersey is fire, so
Me, I
maybe
want.
PSG, the Jordan one, with the long sleeve.
Yeah, I want Inter to win. Yeah, because Dembele cannot be a Ballon d'Or winner. It's wrong. Some things are just wrong.
What if they win, they don't win and he still wins the Ballon d'Or?
I'm not impressed about that. I actually like PSG. I like their players.
Really?
But is that
So what
for
if
me? Is that
Inter
Dembele?
win, but Dembele still wins Ballon d'Or?
Oh, that's not happening.
How do you know?
It's not happening. So he has done enough. He has done. If Inter win, the Ballon d'Or will go to a Barca
Lamine
player,
Yamal.
Lamine or Rafinha. That's what I think.
But you see, between Rafinha and Lamine, obviously we all know that Lamine is better. But
Yeah.
Rafinha is in this because of the goals.
Yeah,
Because he is literally
Because
the
he's
best player in the world.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. Let's not get derailed. So yes,
We'll get there, Pascal. We'll get there. Go
we'll
on.
get there. So yeah, like I was saying, I personally am rooting for Inter Milan to win the Champions League because they lost out 2 years ago to
Inter Milan.
To
Because of one faithful guy.
yes,
You want to mention his name? He has the
Lukaku.
same haircut.
Onana. Onana was amazing in that game.
I know, but like,
It's Lukaku's fault. Do you remember you were standing on the
That's
line?
so true.
Someone
They-
played some shots.
yes,
and he blocked.
yes,
Oh,
yes,
Charlie. I
yes.
mean, it wasn't his fault, but
Lautaro's
you
trying
know.
to score, bro.
yes, he
it
blocked the
happens.
shot.
He blocked
yes,
the shot,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
But I mean, Man City were also great on that day. I remember Rodri scored the winner. So now it's a more experienced team in Inter. They have some very old heads in there. It's like what you were saying, the role players kind of thing. They also have that thing going on. And then
Freeze.
the young team of PSG, very
But
electric.
PSG
very
too, they've
flashy.
been trying to win this for so long.
They've also been trying to win. for
They
a
bought
long time.
literally the best players in the world
Yeah.
to come and help them still.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that they've moved to this
Yeah.
way of
Yeah.
doing things, of trying to build from the real French young players.
That's how it should be.
Yeah. But it's a great European game coming up. I mean, this final,
I think it will be a classic.
yes,
And for
yes,
Mbappe
yes.
too.
highly
The season he left.
highly tactical European game by two astute European managers. I think this game because
I like the English.
Inzaghi's work that he's done in Europe. If you look at, I mean, Luis
Enrique
Enrique's
has
record,
done amazing.
you know,
Yeah.
the two of them, the teams that they've built, will have a great game.
Looking forward to it.
And Mbappe will be watching keenly. You think you'll be supporting PSG or
Oh yeah, he will.
He will, but like
Or some
it'll
Hurricane
pain him.
vibe.
It'll pain him, but like
he has to
he has to
support
support.
it?
Yeah, it's his team.
And honestly, Madrid, like bro, it's
Don't win it.
coming. like
come
dude,
on.
in his time at Madrid, you definitely win.
It's coming.
You definitely
Unfortunately.
Come.
That's just how it is. So predictions.
Penalties.
Penalties, wow.
That's a good one. But for PSG, they have a nice story of the way they've rebuilt the team. They deserve something. But I think Inzaghi, he's been there before. Coming again, if he loses, it will be too much for them. Yeah, so
It'll be hard.
I wish Inter wins it, but you never know. Luis Enrique.
PSG. Man, with PSG.
But I wish Inter will
Only
win this
because
game.
of the jersey.
I think I'm leaning towards Inter as well. I think it will be a higher scoring final than we are used to.
Really.
So I want to say like 3-2.
Down freeze.
Yeah, like 3-2, something like that.
Lautaro.
Final day, I feel like you need to close shop.
I think they'll both try to do
That's
that.
why I wish we did United, to be honest.
But
But rather,
you closed it
the
over.
team that they don't do it, they did it that day and then they scored us.
They were
Yes,
first.
yes.
They were so
First
pragmatic
back,
on the
yeah,
day.
yeah,
That's what we
yeah,
should
Shout
have
out to
gone
Ange. Yeah.
yeah.
Because he famously said he'll never change.
Yeah.
But he knows the
changed.
final,
Yeah,
bro.
you have to
Final,
win. You
have to win.
Blindsided you guys. It is what it is. Oh, also let's not forget the Conference League final is on Wednesday.
Yes.
Yeah.
The one they say they don't care about.
They don't care about. We have to talk about that.
Look how
too.
somebody's head just came up.
Don't worry, Betis will win it. They like it for Anthony.
Hey,
For
Betis,
all the
you heard
tears,
Joaquin. He
all
said
the
that they
sleepless
need him.
nights, Anthony. Well, Joaquin.
Yeah, he said they need Anthony.
Yeah.
Joaquin, the legend, man.
They really like him there. They really like Anthony.
Yes.
Say
Understand
all
that
the
they-
sleepless nights. Can you
All
tell
the
us more about
sleepless
Tell
that?
us
nights.
here, what did he say, Anthony?
Yeah, Anthony spoke about how United was so difficult. There's certain points that he had to even lock himself in the room. Because, he was depressed with all the backlash
Nice.
from the media. Sometimes his own family doesn't speak to them because he just wants to be in his room. It was a really tough time for him at
Wow.
United. And I know most of these players are going through the same
Yep,
thing. There's
yep.
something at that club that, as I said, it's not for us to.
I think
we
it's
can't
the
solve it. We don't-
logo.
Yeah,
If they
exactly.
change
We
the
are-
logo to an angel,
we are not there. We can never be there to solve their problem. People are being paid to solve that issue. So United
are
will
losing
never-
billions.
Yeah.
They are failing.
billions of pounds
Because
thinking about it.
any player that comes, as we are saying,
Any
McTominay,
manager.
any player, manager who comes there,
Because we've
Rashford.
spoken about McTominay, we've not spoken about
It's-
Anthony, now we're talking about
What-
Rashford.
It's
It's
a lot
only
of
Sancho
guys.
where he there.
what has Gary Neville? Because it's a cemetery for players or something. You come there,
Yeah.
you're going to be buried.
Oh,
Oh,
speaking of, where's Pogba?
What's
They
the
said
only
he
thing?
was supposed to come back February
It's
or
true.
something.
That's a
yeah.
good-
But I mean, it was in the middle of the season, so you
But
now
he
that
didn't
the
even
se-
sign. I feel like maybe you go. I mean, obviously not a loan, but like a short-term contract somewhere.
you now let's just
Let's see
give the
what
benefits
happens,
of the
yeah.
doubt that it was in the middle of the season.
Then again, I understand too because if he had gone to sign for like an MLS club and he blasts, he's
It's
he's done.
literally the
He's stuck
end of
there
it.
forever. He's never come back to Europe. So I get it. So let's see what happens to Pogba. I'm hoping he can revive his career after his ban. So one more thing on the list that we have to talk about: FPL.
I was come to see it.
Okay.
Are you sure we're
Yes,
done with
yes.
everything else?
Yeah, that's it.
And this is the first time I'm mentioning this name this season. If you don't know this guy, man, I'm not surprised. Every day he does this nonsense. The only one who loves, cares, and adores FPL, that he will make sure he wins so that I mention his name. I'll mention your name. Kweku Dansumeni. Congratulations for winning FPL yet again. You are welcome.
But
So
why does he keep winning? What's
the thing,
And
I
why-
mean, it's not an
Well, last
excuse or
season he won.
anything. He loves FPL. Like, I have to give him this shout out. I
Yeah.
know he will be smiling in San
Yeah.
Francisco, California.
Yeah.
He loves the game. Any FPL, even if we have Sulia FPL, the three of us who have more points for talking,
FPL,
he will participate.
yes, fantasy bay, that's what it is.
So I think nobody else deserves. I don't think Steve Sejifa, myself, or
Ajimani, all these.
nobody else deserves it. So
Yeah.
even Asokwa
Yeah.
almost won. Can you imagine? Like we will never hear the end of it. So I think nobody, even though Kweku tries to be an asshole of us, I know he's not an asshole.
Yeah.
He just wants us to care as much as he does, but we
Yeah,
don't.
Unfortunately, we don't.
But now
we'll
he has
try.
started winning money and prizes. So shout out to Kweku Dansumi.
Yeah.
You have won FPL. Congrats.
You have a prize.
Congrats,
Contact our good friend Joel Ojo.
Joe Ojo, he has your prize.
He's the manager.
And when we
of
get
the
a new
prize.
Nice
jerseys,
package
I'll
for you.
subsidize yours for you.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
subsidize
yeah.
yours for you. So shout out to you.
It's a cash
So-
prize from Joel.
Shout out to you. Not cash. It's something. Please, sir.
He begs.
I'm done. Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, thank you guys. Oh, but I think I should actually say what the prize is. So you guys next year you have to join. It's a night stay at Bridgeview. Is it hotel?
I wish Ojo was here to see it.
Resort at
If you haven't seen it,
Bridgeview,
it's a view
bro.
of a bridge.
He has said it
from
many
the-
times.
On the
I'm
Volta
repeating
Lake.
what he said. Yes,
Yeah, so
at
come
Atokosombo,
look-
you
looking
can
at the
see
Volta
the
Lake,
whole Adomi
beautiful
Bridge.
weather.
And, yeah, very romantic.
Can
You
go
know,
with-
And a
whoever
subsidized
wants to.
jersey as well.
So
Yes.
Kweku, you know,
What do you say?
I said
he's supposed to get something from G.
G Sports GH.
Oh, there's an FPL prize from G Sports GH.
Oh,
Yes.
wow. I didn't even know we had
Hey,
this many friends.
wow,
More
Kweku,
people
yeah.
should have joined and taken it more serious like Kweku. Have you seen?
a jersey
Yes.
of your choice.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
Joel should have taken it more serious.
I mean,
Yeah,
you
US.
too.
I mean, yeah, I'm not among. So,
Well, your team was in there.
oh,
Energizers
anyway.
and still controlling two teams.
And it just, oh,
They
sure.
probably
They
still
all
don't know.
fell down along the way. So
Wow,
only
you
one person persevered.
tried to cheat and it didn't work. Wow, Energizer,
It's just
terrible.
people they create like 4 teams. Yeah.
Bro.
Anyway, yeah, so we've come to the end of this episode, the end of the season.
Like,
Almost.
comment, subscribe,
Yes.
follow Sulia. We have a lot more stuff coming out. So
Yes.
this is not the end.
We'll be going on the pitch soon.
Yep.
Real
yep,
football. We're going to test our skills. So look out for that. It's coming very soon. So yes, this has been Sulia.
Sulia.